So I'm assuming you know all the galactic stuff, the Starseed origin, or are you new to it?
I'm somewhat aware. It's not really my primary focus of study, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's your focus for the session today?
I want to know more about mm, how I'm supposed to be helping with awakening.
Oh,
And
like
I
as a teacher.
kind of, yeah. I don't know what my purpose. I think I know what my purpose is. I just don't know how to do it. I have ideas. Yeah. I want to know what my intuitive gifts are. I want to know how to develop more and how to speak with my spirit guides more
Yeah.
clearly. Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell that you're awakening. You're at the path right now. You're opening a lot of doors internally. So before you may seem to notice the change right now. Before you were more like close-minded, or how to say, more integrated into just into this human society, but now you're opening more to what's beyond the possibilities, beyond new possibilities and new opportunities that you're going through a spiritual awakening. I'm feeling it. And the gifts, also for some reason I'm seeing a lot of elves from your case. I'm seeing a lot of ancient elves that you have connections to,
Mhm.
perhaps, or even Lemuria right now, starting from Lemuria. And the gifts like you have is like the one is deep wisdom, whether if it's a philosophy or whether if it's health, wisdom of well-being, of holistic well-being. So it's not really the pharmaceutical, medicinal stuff, not the stuff that we are taught by society, but more of the um, stuff that are gained through this intelligence of our soul, because our soul understands our body the most than what other people tell us to, what other people tell us we have to do to stay healthy. And so you're expert at well-being, or what I'm getting is you will become very good at teaching people health and well-being,
Okay.
particularly body, mind, spirit. So more on the spiritual side, I'm getting it's more on the holistic spiritual side.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm also seeing that you can be I mean, you are a very good planner, or a very good like a person who plans something, like preparing for something in advance, or scheduling, that you have a good time management. I feel somewhere like that. It's more of a
Vision planning.
yeah, more of an Octarian energy where they are more logical and more of a planner type of personality, but also you got the elvish wisdom, the elvish that are very connected to Mother Nature as well. So you got both sides of gifts, which is very good, very balanced. Because most of us is either one side. So you got the balance of masculine and feminine there as well. Because of that, so the planning, the Arcturian energy is more of the masculine, and the connecting with Mother Nature is more of the feminine. So you got a good balance of yang and yin. It's just that you just gotta, like, I can tell that you are a new bird to this stage, and you're awakening to all the gifts at a gradual time, and it does take time, and it will feel confusing, it will feel overwhelming, but allow that process to go through, like go through that process. Mm.
What blockages I've been struggling. Like sometimes I can feel super connected. I also feel like I have a battle of like I know what you mean by like the yin and the yang. Like it feels like a battle sometimes applying both. I feel like I'm one or the other. I can't, maybe not always.
So
But
you,
it's
is it like a feeling that there's two personalities and it's crashing with each other?
yeah.
Yeah, you got to integrate that. This is what I struggle to be honest.
Mhm.
Um, so once you're awakened, you will see like your multi-dimensional level of self, your multifaceted self. And believe it or not, like these facets of self is part of a consciousness. So it's like when you tap deeper into meditation and when you connect deeper, it's like you're seeing different avatars of yourself, and they may have different ideas and different opinions, and they start to crash, and that's where it becomes unstable and you become stressful and anxious, and sometimes you can't even sleep at all. So you have to learn to integrate them, and to do that, it's meditation is the main thing to integrate them because that helps you go deeper into your soul. And I don't know, have you done shadow work before, or do you know how to do shadow work?
No, not really.
Okay, let's see. So shadow work is also through meditation.
Mhm.
It's all about intention. And intention is like your will, your soul's willpower. And when you set the intention, your soul will focus on that objective, that intention to go deeper to what you want to do. So your intention is you want to go deeper to understand yourself. So you want a quiet place alone to do this work. And you can also like talk to yourself, like raise your voice if it doesn't work, if you feel like your body wants to speak. It's there's a practice called the Osho dynamic meditation where people do a lot of screaming to release and heavy movement to release whatever that needs to be released. But I mean, that's one practice that you can do when you want to release your shadows or release stress. But another practice which I'm doing is to talk to yourself in a gentle way or in a way that your body wants to do. So you need to first be able to sense yourself. You need to awaken that clairsentience. That clairsentience is the one of the psychic abilities called the feeling, and everyone has the ability to feel because we all can feel. I think you should focus on awakening that feeling or trying to connect with understand how your body, mind, and soul is feeling so you can connect better.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'll look into that. Can we
Yeah.
talk a little bit about the elves? That was surprising, but kind of also not, mostly because I've always felt affinity to like fiction elves. Yeah, I don't know much about. I've like recently started learning more about like other entities. But I was
Yeah.
curious about the elves.
So they're showing me night elves at first, because I mean, no, at first it's a daytime elf, but now they're showing me night elves for some reason. Like they're trying to emphasize something that has to do with the night, which is weird. I wonder if there's a significance for you between nights, or are you a night person, perhaps?
Yeah, definitely more night person.
Okay. So you're more active at night and you're not as active in the daytime.
Yeah, that's accurate.
That's very cool because, yeah, that's why I'm seeing a night elf that is more active at night, more into, I see dancing exercises for some reason as well. I see some magic, ritualistic magic at night. You connect with Mother Nature at night a lot better as well. Because I
Mhm.
see the elf that's connecting with the forest, trees around, communicating with the trees.
Mhm.
Definitely a sign that you can do more meditation at night and more connecting at night, as well as shadow work. Maybe not the screaming, because that would be too loud.
Yeah, the trees make sense. I feel like every time I pass by a tree, I have to say hello. They're like my friends. Um,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's very cool.
What are elves? Like, is this like like an otherworldly thing? I've actually never come across elves yet, although I've just started.
Hmm. It's for your case, elves usually they are in a loud place, not just Earth. They're also in the Pleiades.
Mhm.
But for your case, there is a possibility. I'm sensing an energy in the Pleiades as well, but it's also on another energy I'm sensing is also on alternative Earth, so it can be either. It's more like you're connected with the elvish consciousness.
Got it.
So Because elvish consciousness, they are connected with every living elves. Because we are talking about the collective elves.
Mhm.
But
It's
the main one I'm saying is the one on Earth, but on a different dimension,
mhm,
completely different realm on Earth. It's not a realm that exists on Earth.
mhm,
I mean, on this 3D Earth.
mhm,
It's also a place where they completely cloak themselves
mhm.
so that humans can't see when they pass by. It's like
What?
a camouflage of
Mhm.
dimension.
I
Uh,
see.
yeah, it reminds me of a show from Dragon Prince, the Shadow Elves, that where they live, but I don't know if you've seen that show.
No, but it's funny because when I think about elves, I think about elves from the book Aragon, which is about dragons.
Oh my
Um,
God.
and also Lord of the Ring. Is are the elves kind of like the Lord of the Ring elves? I don't know if that's a dumb question.
No, it's
Like
not.
the character
Aragon. How do you spell Aragon? I've not
E
seen Aragon.
Eragon. I wouldn't watch it. I would read the books if you like fiction. It's one of my favorite series.
Oh, okay. I see Lord of the Rings. The elves from the Lord of the Rings are more of a morning elf.
Okay.
It's similar but not quite. So you're more of the night elf,
Mhm.
and you're more of the plant elf, the forest elf. Because the
Mhm.
Lord of the Rings, they like your type is also a not just a forest elf, but also someone who observes, someone who studies, someone who has deep wisdom, deep clairvoyance. So yeah, one of your gifts could be psychic abilities that you are awakening to, that you can work on for sure.
Mhm. Do you know how I should develop those? Do you know what my like? I guess sorry if this is like all over the place. In terms of like spreading knowledge, what is like the medium I should use? Is it like writing, speaking? I don't know if that's the question that, yeah.
In terms of what? Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, so what medium? Like I feel like I know my life purpose it has to do with like it must have to do with something about like spreading knowledge about like the wider truth of like reality um and things like that. Do you know if I should do it verbally or by written word? It's kind of a conflict I have. I don't know if I should speak it or write it. I don't,
You can do both, I feel.
okay.
It's like either can work. So there's no conflict. It's really a preference thing because I feel like you have potential for both because you're so balanced both. You just gotta learn to integrate both of them and be more flexible.
Mhm.
I think flexibility is also the key and towards embracing and integrating those two. So for
Okay.
the teacher, yeah, that's interesting that you mentioned the teacher. Could be Octarian energy, but right now I'm still trying to detect the energy, whether if it's truly Octarian. So
Mhm.
because your Starseed DNA is awakening, is faint still.
Okay.
Also, you're very connected with the moon as well, especially the full moon. As a night elf, the full moon really energizes you.
Mhm.
So it's a fun fact.
That makes sense. Why the idea of a night elf, it just makes me I feel like it when you say that, it reminds me of like my playful, like I just want to play around in a forest
Yeah,
and like yeah, and
yeah.
like
Mhm.
dance in front of a bonfire. Um, that
Oh
makes
yeah, for sure. The dancing part at night around the bonfire, the magic rituals around the bonfire, the singing as well at night, and as well you're pretty like an independent person, so you're not really like a social, not very strong in the social. Your soul is craving to be more by yourself, to kind of focus on yourself, and you need time for yourself, basically,
yeah,
to yeah, to think and to plan, because you're kind of a strategist, and perhaps you may be easily distracted when there's too much noise and when there's people around you.
yeah,
That could be also a sign that you are an empath too, because you're sensitive to people, you're sensitive to energies when there's too much of them, too many of them.
That makes sense. I have a suspicion that I have a soul contract with the person I'm with right now. Can you confirm if that's true? Or either that, I feel like he is another incarnation of my soul. Something, I'm not sure. There was familiarity.
Yeah, I see that he's either part. He's also an elf, so he's also a night elf like you,
Really? That makes sense.
and he's likely your soul family or your or a couple in that night elf, like a lover type
Mm,
of connection.
okay.
Twin flame's pretty complicated though, so that's
Are we twin flames? I actually don't know much about twin flames either.
I twin flames are way too complicated and there's way too many opinions.
Yeah.
But you two's energy, it can be twin flame, but it also can it feels more like a soulmate too. Soulmate, soul family.
Hmm. Yeah, I definitely felt the soul flame connected or soul family connection. I know that there's, yeah, like there's no way this I've known him before. It has to be. There's I just, yeah. I
Yeah.
wasn't yeah. Um
Yeah, you live in this elvish family. It's like a village.
mhm.
Can all of the elves there are most active at night. They go gathering food at night as well. So you've been with him since the elvish time, like in this elvish life for quite a while, quite a
Mm,
long time.
that makes sense. This is kind of actually I don't want to.
Yeah, yeah. Well, where's it? Go ahead.
No, I decided I didn't want to ask. I don't want to know the answer. But something else. Uh I had so many questions. Um
Sure.
and like okay, wait, I wrote some down. Oh, sorry, can you find out um if I have anything to do with way showing?
Way showing?
Yeah. It's something I came across recently, but it spoke to me.
Way showing. What's way showing?
I don't know. Actually, I did a meditation by someone and they told me you're like opening one of three doors, and then I opened a door that said that I was a way shower. And I guess it just means like someone who shows the way.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, I don't yeah, I
Well,
don't
naturally, elves are pretty intuitive with direction because
mhm,
their psychic abilities, or it's not really, it's their type of psychic, it's their type of natural gift to
mhm,
know the way in the dark, especially. So
mhm,
because they are also dark workers, so most of the people when it's dark, they can't see or they're too terrified to move forward. But for your case, when it's dark, you got the courage, you got the bravery, and you know the way. So I think you should definitely go through shadow work and
mhm,
learn the aspect of yin, the dark worker aspect,
mhm,
and then you can help people with their shadow work. You can guide people in their shadow work to identify their shadow first and then lead their shadow to freedom, free their shadows. Because the
mhm,
shadow is part of the consciousness or part
mhm.
of the avatar.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. When you said my starseed awakening was just starting, but it was faint, can you clarify more on what that meant?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting now they're telling me you work at the Galactic Council, the Galactic Federation, which is more connected to galactic government. And it's a very missionary type of souls that sign. And I think your soul family or that partner is also part of it
Mhm,
in some way or form. What mission is it? So it more has to do with science and lots of building, lots of repairing, lots of innovations. Uh, they're also showing me that you work, you know, I'm seeing a space suit and you're building a spaceship or building some sort of equipment outside on outer space
mhm.
near the galactic center.
Do do I work on these things?
Engineering too.
Yeah. Do I work on these things at night? I have dreams that sound related
Well,
somewhat.
It's outer space, so
Uh-huh.
you can't really tell. There's no day and night time when it's outer space because you
Oh,
see the sun.
sorry. I mean when I dream at night, I have dream like when I'm sleeping, is my soul doing stuff when I'm sleeping? I always have dreams like I'm on a mission in some like outer space thing. And then other dreams
Yeah,
about like a tsunami, which actually I wanted to ask about, but we'll get to that.
definitely. Dreaming is a natural. It's one of the major signs when it comes to connecting with your other lives or your parallel lives.
Mhm.
So you're experiencing different lives currently simultaneously. Your soul is experiencing different lives. And because you're opening to that experience, you can definitely close the experience when it's overwhelming, but I feel like your soul wants to experience it. And
Mhm.
so you experience this multiple galactic self and your Elvis self as well for quite some time until you're fully awakened and until you've got the wisdom and knowledge from all these experiences that you have. Because these experiences are part of the path to awaken your gifts.
What would what would it look like for me in my life right now to fully awaken? Like what would I guess what would I be like when I am fully awakened?
Well, there's many potentials and many different versions. We got the timelines always change, and there's
Right.
way too many timelines, by the way.
There's no way to see based on the current path that I'm on.
I Well, it's very interesting because the way I see it, it's on 5D Earth. Because the
Okay.
vision I see is that when Earth's completely changed.
Yeah.
This is visions I see for some people as well when I do the reading. But 5D Earth, we always thought that it's coming.
Yeah.
Like, but every time, it gets delayed.
Yeah.
Like even this year, the eclipse happened, and well, nothing in human society really happened. It happened on Earth, it happened to Gaia, but
Yeah.
so a lot of us were disappointed. But anyways, yeah, let's get to the vision I saw is you on 5D Earth. There'll be more ETs coming
Mm.
in on Earth, even integrating into human society. I see you like a leader to guide souls, guide younger souls, particularly or human souls that are unfamiliar with all this stuff, with starseeds, with spirituality in general.
Mhm.
Makes sense. A lot of humans are still living in the 3D, and Gaia has actually shifted quite a lot. So she has ascended quite a lot, whereas humanity is still at the same level and it still needs catching up to do. A lot
Yeah.
of catching up to do. And that's where the awakened souls like you will come in and help a lot of those people. And when is this? It's hard to tell. I
Mm.
I'm getting it's another decade it would take. But if timeline changes again and if we get delayed again,
Yeah.
that's another thing. But I see you as a leader. I see you as someone who guides people. I see you as someone who works with the ETs, who communicate with the ETs. Also like a diplomatic situation, diplomatic person. You got lots of gifts actually. You got lots of possibilities there. I mean, you're very logical. You're good with IT or machines as well because of your more of your logical mind.
Yeah.
And but then you're very connected with nature as well. So yeah, you got both sides, which is a great gift.
That makes sense. Yeah, I do software engineering right now. I'm good at it despite my own surprise.
Yeah, it's where. Are you, by the way, just curious about your age? Are you around 20s or 30s?
About to turn 30 this year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I think 99 of my clients are over 40 or 50, so
Mhm.
it's interesting. So you're around my age. It's
Nice.
cool.
Well, nice to meet you.
Nice to
Um,
meet you too.
the Lemuria thing, I keep having not nightmares almost. I keep having dreams about a gigantic tsunami. Is that related to the Lemuria thing?
Sure. Oh yeah. before that, back to why I asked you about the age, because you belong to the newer generation. So the older people are the previous generation. So we belong to the newer generation, like the new rainbow children or new star children,
Uh,
which is why we're kind of our generation of starseeds kind of important for what's coming in
I
the future.
yeah,
So
I get
that's
that.
also like a calling for us. Anyways, going back to your question, the tsunami thing. The tsunami thing seems to be at Atlantis. So yeah, it makes sense that you got connections to Atlantis. Atlantis is more of the masculine side,
Yeah.
and also more of the technology side. Atlantis is very connected with technology, whereas Lemuria is very connected with holistic and Mother Nature.
Mhm.
That's so you've experienced the destruction of Atlantis and Lemuria. Well, you didn't. You were. I think you were at Atlantis that time. And this, what timeline is this at? There's way too many destruction, way too many timelines, different
Yeah.
versions of timelines of that incident happened.
Yeah.
Is it the Dracos or is it just another thing? I'm not. I see Zeus, which possibly could be the Anunnakis, could be Enlil or Enki or Enlil, probably Enlil. Zeus is like the incarnation of Enlil, and the Anunnaki gods, the one that the earlier gods. Well, that
Mm.
has to do with a lot of the Anunnaki history that came to Earth and used humans as slaves. Also caused a lot of caused the entire shift where Earth Gaia used to be 12D planet, and it just sinks downwards and downwards. Atlantis was 5D,
Mm.
but yeah, definitely it reminds me of Noah's flood, the tsunami that you see. And Noah's flood, also the god of Noah's flood, is very linked to the Anunnaki gods because the gods are angry. This god is angry particularly. And Zeus is also the incarnation of rage. Same thing. It's just, it's how the avatar sort of has this same incarnation, just repeats themselves, the same person. So that's what I'm seeing.
Okay.
Mm. I mean, there could be there's possibly a lot more, but I'm just tapping into. So we can feel free to ask more questions, or you can allow me to go deeper if you would like to.
No, I'm sorry. I want to switch gears again.
Sure.
Can we talk about my spirit guides? I don't know, yeah, what you can find out about them. I've been trying to connect with them more, somewhat successfully.
So the spirit guide realm, I'm seeing a dragon. I'm seeing dragons. I'm seeing elves. I'm also seeing dark workers, shadow flames. It's kind of like that. Purple, violet. So I see a lot of violet. Even the dragon's violet. The space itself is the space itself has a very strong violet energy, but kind of also rainbow-ish. But it's more of the yin aspect of rainbow. So we got the yang and yin aspect. So the rainbow is a bit more darker rainbow, a bit more of a yin type of rainbow. Which so you are a right now you're awakening to your dark worker, or your soul is calling you to be a dark worker. And the dark worker is not really about spreading darkness. It's just about working with the dark, with the yin energy, which night is also yin, night is also dark, but it's not evil. So that's a
Mm.
misconception. Yin and yang is not good and evil.
Yeah.
Completely human misconception.
Hmm.
The dragons are more of your DNA. They're responsible for opening your DNA, your soul DNA, and it's most active at night as well. So they're also very active at night. You can call upon them. They can also be your guardians as well. And I see the shadow flames are also very connected to your power. Yeah, it makes sense that they're showing me your elvish side. You work with fire, and particularly darker fire, the yin aspect of fire. Because fire is usually associated with yang, but for
Mhm.
your case, I see yin fire. Very cool stuff. I've never seen this. Like, oh, it's like violet flames. Is it violet flame? Looks like that.
Wait, that's so crazy that you're saying that because I always, when I think of myself, I feel the purple. Yeah, I see it. Like, I don't, I guess you see it with a higher mind or something, but why purple?
Because, hmm, purple is associated with our crown chakra, but okay, I'll give you two reasons. The first reason is the violet chakra is more of the violet itself is more of the higher chakra that's connected with our crown, and the crown chakra is the place where we tap into higher realms or tap into outside realms. Opposite is the root chakra, which is about survival, which is about all the human needs for stability, human stability.
Hmm.
That's one aspect of violet. The second aspect of violet is more of the purging. The violet flame is known to purge any toxins, any poison, any negative stuff inside you or around you, negative auras. They are more of the powerful, extreme. Because when you talk about cleanse, we talk about clearing, but the violet is purging. It's about purging the violet flame.
Mm.
So that's another aspect. And it could also just be your aura as well. What I'm feeling is there is a strong tie with violet flame as a ability of purging and the ability to go deeper. I kind of need time to actually tap in deeper to understand it. I know that, I can feel that you're kind of in the rush to get the next question in.
No, no, no. Actually, I would love for you to tap into this. Give me 1 sec. I just got paged. I just need to acknowledge it, and then I can move. Yeah, but please tap in more into the purple stuff. Yeah, I'm good now.
Sure. So we can extend the session for another 15 minutes if we need.
Thank you. I
Let's
really
see. The violet flame can be used for DNA awakening. That's first. Awakening to your soul aspect of self. That's first. It's also unlocking memories, opening new memories of your past lives. I feel like this flame can be used on others as well. It's like your unique ability. It's like a tool, it's like a magical tool that you've brought with you from your past lives or that you can tap into because you can tap into your past life gifts.
What does the tool do exactly? What should I use it for?
Well, for DNA awakening and for memory, for
Oh,
unlocking memories of past lives or any type of memory to unlock.
what is DNA awakening?
DNA awakening it's like that your body is acknowledging your other aspect of self. So your other aspect of yourself is awakening. The soul DNA I'm talking about, yeah, the soul DNA is awakening, meaning that your your body, when your soul's DNA is awakened, your body starts acknowledging your other avatars, which, for your example, is the elves and the galactic beings and the galactic past lives that you have, which means that you can tap into them more and you have more access to those gifts from your past life or to the avatars, basically, of your
Hmm,
past lives.
that makes
But
sense. I do kind of feel like I can feel like past life things of me like sometimes like conflicting with each other and trying to rise to the surface. Like aspects, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, um, I mean, I also see a cup with the flames all in the cup. I think that was one of the two to store the flames. It's an eternal, everlasting flame, so it keeps burning. It doesn't get extinguished. It's this special type of flame. And I see a golden cup. You as an elf that's holding, kind of similar to the cups from the tarot decks.
Mm-hmm. That's what I saw when you said that.
That's cool. Yeah, I think for now that's it about the violet flames.
Okay.
There could be more, but that's what they're showing for now. Maybe that's all you need to know at this time. So we can move on.
That makes sense. The solar flares recently, did that change part of my DNA? I feel like something happened. I wasn't sure if it was just me though.
Solar flares. You mean there's a solar flare recently?
Yeah, there was a solar flare storm like in the last month. Like there were, yeah. And I felt so weird. Like I felt like very jittery and like shaky.
What you mentioned, solar flares. I mean, I see a flash. It affected the entire population. At least the solar flare was blasting through the entire population of Earth. Yeah, it is one of the factors I do see. Although it's one factor, but it's not the most significant I'm getting. That has to do with your awakening. I think it's just the soul timing, the divine timing of your when it comes to the awakening, and the solar flare has something to do with it, but it's not a major factor.
Okay. What can I do to further along my awakening at this time? If that's
Well, it's already happening, and you're taking that process, so you just gotta continue that process.
okay,
Continue to do meditation, do shadow work,
shadow work.
well, connecting with your yin aspect.
Mhm.
Like even though you got the balance, I feel like you're more yin orientated in general. So I
Okay,
feel like you're 70-80% yin, 20-30% yang
okay,
at this stage. Like it could change.
yeah,
At least as your soul is calling you to work with the yin. So
okay,
do the meditation every night. Connect with yourself every night.
okay.
And you will start to feel more and tap in deeper and awaken more.
What blockages right now? What am I doing wrong that I should change, if anything?
I actually right now I'm not seeing a particular blockage that you need to be so concerned of.
Okay,
It's just your yin aspect is coming up very strong, very powerful at this time.
okay,
Your DNA awakening of your past lives is coming out very strong at this time. So you're going through this change. You're going through this major change and major shift, and that's why you're feeling off balance. That's why you're feeling weird right now. And you might have mistaken that as a blockage, but I don't feel
mm,
there are blockages right now. It may come later, but now I'm not getting any blockage.
okay.
Mhm.
That's good to know. So in terms of like Starseed, so I guess like in terms of what I have to do right now to just like hold on for the ride, is that other than meditation and shadow work, which I will look into because I haven't looked into any of that. Or meditation, yes, but not shadow work. Um,
Oh, so your question is you want to look into more meditation? Is that?
no, sorry, I know. Um, I guess if there's anything is maybe I don't know if this is a question you can ask. If I what do I need to know right now? Like what is important for me to know to move ahead with my mission?
So right now, the going through the process of your DNA awakening, of your awakening of gifts or awakening who you are, is the most important thing. It's like they're trying not to stress you out by putting too much of what you need to know for the future ahead. You just gotta focus on the awakening first,
Okay.
because a lot of change is going to take place inside you. So it's more of the internal change than the external. But when your internal changes a lot significantly, you will feel that even the external will change, because the outside just follows the inside at
Yeah.
times. Then once you've gone through that change, which I feel it's gonna take a couple months, 6 months, at around 6 months to 6 to 10 months.
Mhm.
And then after that, you can go with your mission. Awakening comes first.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Um, can we I know we touched on this a little, but can we cover what my like psychic gifts like right now. I was just curious what they were if
Claircognizance is the big one for elves, the knowing, and that's why they're never lost because they know the way.
yeah.
Clairsentience is also one that you're awakening to, the sensing. That makes sense. You are sensitive, and also you feel the energy of the plants, of the forest, of Mother Nature, and the moon. Strong ties with the moon. Moon elves.
Yeah.
You gotta watch the show Dragon Prince. It's a one of the main characters, the moon elves. Kind of reminds me of her. You kind of remind me of that character.
I'll definitely watch it today. I'm excited.
I mean, if you've seen the show Avatar: The Last Airbender, it's the same creator. I'm not sure if you know Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I do. I never watched it. I watched little bits of it, but not enough for sure.
Yeah, it's a very good show. It's a very good cartoon. Best cartoon.
Mhm.
Anyways, yeah, back to your gifts. Those two are the biggest, the clairsentience and claircognizance.
Okay, yeah, that makes
Um,
sense.
I mean, there's also clairvoyance, which is seeing images, and that makes sense. As a dreamer, you see images when you dream. You see videos, you see movies running through. So that's the clairvoyance. So that's the three. Oh, I'm also getting a clairaudience. So you got the four C's. Oh, perfect. So you hear things too sometimes.
Oh,
Sometimes
yeah. I
coming
that
up.
a
Yeah.
follow-up question. Sorry. Yeah, go on. If
No, so that's the main four.
okay.
I think you're very psychic. You just need to develop it.
And it will developing happen naturally, or do I have to do something specifically?
It will happen naturally, but you also can practice it through meditation. Again, with the same thing I just suggest, doing the meditation every night, connecting with yourself. And once you connect with your soul, you will start seeing images, feeling things, knowing things
Got it. Yeah.
naturally.
All of that makes sense. Sometimes I don't know if you can find out if this is real or not. Sometimes I ask a question in my head and the answer comes, like I hear it. I don't know if it's me supplying the answer or if it's like a spirit guide or um
It's you. So what you're hearing is guidance. What you're healing is guidance. Like your gift is to connect with, is the capability to connect with the universe and receive answers. Receive answer that is of the divine, that is of a universal energy. And that's where you draw true wisdom from. So it's like yourself, not really your guide. So you got that
mm,
because you got
that,
that good wisdom.
that
That's
makes
how, yeah, that's how elves or high level beings kind of tap into their claircognizance is to connect with universal energy.
got it. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually. I do feel like it's me. It just feels like a higher self me, like a greater knowing. Like I'm asking myself and myself, the greater me is responding. Oh, the astral projection. Should I stop practicing that? I don't know.
Astral projection,
It's like kind of happened 1.5 times. I don't know if it's something I should continue working.
you can. I mean, if you want to, I don't think it's harming you. Another thing is because you are a dark worker, so this stuff doesn't really phase you much compared to others. Like for others, they gotta shield themselves because lots of attacks, lots of entity attacks, lots of negative attacks. But you work with the dark, so you're kind of automatically immune to it in a
Okay.
way. I mean, for some reason, I don't see that it's dangerous for you, even though if you don't shield yourself, but all the time you should always shield yourself. But it's interesting too. Lately, I've been working dark. I'm also working with darkness, and I don't get as much attacked as I used to when I was afraid of the dark.
Hmm.
So it's the same with you as well. When you're not afraid of the yin, you get less likely. You get like you don't give a shit about demons or stuff like that.
Yeah. I feel like that doesn't phase me, or I feel like I know how to subvert it if I accept it. I don't know. I understand, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, that's part of integration of the shadow of the dark worker aspect. God, we need more dark workers. That means a lot of light workers they're getting attacked, but actually it's a misinformation now to resist the dark.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think this is gonna be a good new video for me. Like,
I will look forward to it. I found you through a YouTube video, actually.
is it the Lyran video?
No, it was the Vega Starseeds. I saw it on Reddit, and then I found your website. Actually, the video I think was taken down on Reddit, and I couldn't find your YouTube channel again. I
Wait,
just
really?
Yeah. Someone else posted, or I don't know if it was you. Someone posted your video about Vega Starseeds. And then for some reason I just felt drawn to booking this session with you. And I'm usually pretty good at following my intuition, so I just went for it. This is really helpful. Um,
It's interesting. I think you're the first person who found me on Reddit.
yeah.
I mean, at least through booking a reading.
Yeah, I've been screaming at the universe. I want more information. And then
Eh,
when I saw your YouTube video and I saw that you did Akashic Records readings, I don't know, I felt like I should do it.
Yeah,
So
your energy is kind of similar. I mean, your energy is kind of at first, I don't know what the hell it is, but then your energy is very similar to mine, so it's very easy to read.
got it. Yeah, I felt when I heard your voice, I was like, okay, this feels maybe not yeah, somewhat familiar. Kind of, yeah. And I was like,
Yeah, I also felt that from the beginning there is some familiarity, but
yeah,
so that's why I think that's why it was so smooth, the session.
yeah. Other than my jumping around everywhere, because I have so many questions.
Oh yeah, we're in the same boat. We're
Really?
yeah, we're kind of in the same boat. Like you're also multi-dimensional being. I'm also multi-dimensional being. Like what you're going through. I mean, I've gone through the awakening for a year or two already,
Okay.
but there's still so much to discover and so much I'm working on, particularly on inner peace right now, because
Mm.
I'm also going everywhere. My consciousness shifting everywhere, like yours.
Yeah. It's hard to
And
keep it staying in one place.
yes, and I couldn't sleep last night, by the way. So I didn't actually sleep at all last night.
Yeah, that's weird. This week I couldn't sleep at all. Last night was the first night I slept. I just kept sleeping during the day. It was easier, which makes sense with everything you've been saying.
Yeah, I mean, we're also going through similar things. So that's why it's so easy to explain it. But then words are pretty hard to explain this stuff because we communicate telepathically.
Yeah.
That's energy communication. So it's like, I mean, one of the Akashic record in my Akashic record teaching course, I explain how people communicate telepathically through clairsentience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And that's yeah.
oh, sorry. I mean, I noticed like when I was envisioning the cup, you like corrected my vision of the cup because I was thinking of like a white mug, and you're like, it's like the tarot card gold cups, and I immediately saw it, and I was like, oh, yeah, I could tell. I think we were doing some like mental communication. I could feel it. You kept clarifying things that were in my head.
Yeah, and it would be so much easier if we can just focus on telepathy because I gotta keep thinking what's the best word to explain this? That's the best way to explain this through human language. 'Cause that's just too complicated.
Yeah. I should take your Akashic readings class. I wanted to learn how to do this. There's so many things to like focus on, and my primary focus right now has been like understanding like the fabric of reality and how we move, like how souls move through life. Like that has been like my primary focus. And through like what I've learned, I know that like other entities and like the galactic picture is important, and I just started learning a little bit more about it. But not so much. So yeah, it's hard to focus because there's so many
Mhm.
different points of interest, you know? Um, there's so many things that are interesting.
Yeah, you just awaken, so you're kind of in like this honeymoon phase to exploring all of these new concept. It's like me too when I got into Starseeds.
Mhm.
Like your honeymoon phase, you're just so intrigued with everything you discovered about yourself.
Yeah, it's been really fun. When did you said you awoke like a year ago?
Yeah, well, it's during COVID. It's
Mhm.
2020 first is my first awakening, and then 2023 is my second awakening. That's when I started as an Akashic record reader. So it's been a year
I
now
see. What do you
since I
mean
do
by
this reading.
got it? What did you mean by first and second awakening? I think I understand, but Which is
First awakening, I wasn't much into psychic. I was more into the knowledge.
yeah.
So I was really just doing research on the knowledge. I didn't know how to connect with myself that time. The
Mm,
second awakening is where I started to be able to connect deeply with myself. But through the help, other people's help, they helped me realize what I should be doing, and met a lot of people who triggered me in every way possible. Frankly, you kind of look like one of the girls that really, you know, that really affected me. You
mhm,
look like her, so I think that's also like that familiarity as
yeah.
well.
Mhm.
I met her in online, but I met her when I was in New Zealand, and that was the month that it kickstarted me to be a Akashic record reader.
Yeah. New Zealand also holds a lot of positive energy for me. I felt so awake when I was there a couple years ago too.
Yeah, it's very strong with the Pleiadian energy, but also there's a lot of Elvish energy because that's also where the Lord of the Rings is made.
So
I
what
came
did you say?
Lord of the Rings is
Oh yeah,
yeah. I went to the Hobbiton,
me
so it
too.
was really cool. You too? You went there?
I did. It was so beautiful. I didn't want to go at first because I love the movies and I didn't want it to ruin it. But it was beautiful. There was so much nature, like the butterflies and the trees and the grass.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
The energies in New Zealand, oh boy, I really missed it. I mean,
yeah.
another place is Scotland. New Zealand, Scotland's kind of similar, the energy wise, except New Zealand feels more fantasy. It feels more inner childish energy, where Scotland is more older, I feel.
Okay.
But both are pretty amazing places. I think two of my favorite place for awakening, for my soul awakening, because I got so much connection.
Yeah. I yeah, New Zealand was like that for me. I should try Scotland next time.
Yeah, we can definitely uncover more if you would like a follow-up session.